Beautiful day, everybody. Welcome back to the Cars924 YouTube channel. My name is Kazai, and in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you on how to use the infotainment system on the Toyota Hilux GD6. So before we even get started with any of that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is the place where everything is cars. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications to be alerted when a new video is dropped. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so then in terms of the infotainment screen on the Toyota Hilux, it's pretty much straightforward and easy to use, self-explanatory at the end of the day. But for those who aren't actually too familiar with it, I'm going to give you a small little rundown on like how to use it and where to find specific things if you want to make a few alterations or, just configure with the settings. So now, let's just start off first off with Bluetooth connectivity. So now let's just go back to menu, and then what you do is you go into setup, and then you go into Bluetooth, and then afterwards you make your phone undiscoverable in terms of your Bluetooth, and then you easily pair it to your cell phone to the point where you can even answer cell phone calls and you can play your music and all things like that. And then if you just quickly go back to menu, this is your navigation, but then obviously there has to be some sort of configuration here. You need to actually preload the maps, or maybe like an SD card, as it's actually disclosing here. And then eco is basically a tracking system where it tracks your fuel and like your mileage and how you're basically driving, and how much petrol you're saving in a specific time, and also just like your range, how much fuel you have left in your tank in terms of like the kilometers that you can do with the petrol that's left in your tank. So then we can quickly go back. We can go to setup. So now setup, this is where you can actually configure so many things independently, such as like your, let's say if you go to like general, you can change like the theme. You can even turn on like the beeps, like the clicking sounds every time I click onto something. You hear that? Those are the beeps. And there's software update. You can personalize your data. You can even personalize even like the startup image, like the animation when actually the infotainment screen actually goes on. So now if we quickly go back, what else can we actually talk about here? Let's just talk about the display. We go to general. We can actually like configure the brightness of the infotainment screen and even contrast it to make it darker or lighter, depending on obviously your personal taste. All right, so I think now we're actually going to move on to basically one of my most favorite modes that you can actually configure yourself. So now if you want to like control like your bass, your treble, and all sorts of things, like even quietly distributing the sound on either side of the cabin, what you do is easily go to audio, and then it just straight leads you up to like the Bluetooth audio. But what you do now is that you go into sound. After you go to sound, you can actually independently configure your treble, your bass, and also specifically where you want the sound to be predominantly most noticeable. And if you want it towards the back, you take it towards the back. If you want it towards the front, you can take it towards the front. If you want it to be left or right, basically understand what I'm saying. You can independently shift it to where you actually want it to be playing. So now basically that's pretty much it. And other things are basically self-explanatory. Over here, it's basically for your cell phone. You can answer your cell phone calls through this button over here, and then over here these are your volume up buttons and then volume down buttons. This is your home button, and then audio, just as I explained, where you can configure your different types of sounds, bass and treble. And then here is basically where you can actually seek different radio stations. Whether you want to listen to a specific one, you can look for it right here. Well guys, that is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. And also if you found it quite informative as well, please make sure to leave a like and also a comment in the comment box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.